Running a studio shouldn't require superhuman powers, but here you are, a therapist, bookkeeper, janitor, and dance teacher. If you're tired of wearing all the hats and still feeling like you're falling behind, this is Life Coaching for Dance Studio Owners. I'm your host, Ginger Haith-Cox. Let's cut the chaos, quiet the guilt, and build a business that actually works for you. Now, today's episode shares clips from a recent training I did. It was a webinar entitled Tuition Tune-Up, designed specifically for dance studio owners to figure out their pricing before they open enrollment for next season. As you listen in today, I want you to think about ways that you can make small changes that will have a big impact on your business and your finances. I hope you enjoy. These are 6 truths that I've learned, and I want you all to know. The first one is that profit in your business is a better indicator of success than your student numbers or top line revenue. I have coached people who have dance studios with double the number of students as I have, who do not have profit or money to do the things that they want to do. Likewise, there's studio owners making $700,000 a year in revenue, and they don't have money to pay their bills. So if you have quote unquote a small studio, know that it does not mean that this far off number of 1,000 students, 1,200 students is some magical mythical thing where they're doing better than you are. That may not be the case. I also know that price increases are a normal part of business. Your bagel store, your coffee store, clothing, gas, all of it. Price increases are a normal thing. This is not something that we need to be afraid of. I'm sure we all had extra price increases on our eggs recently, right? These things are just a normal thing. It's not something that people would say, oh my gosh, how could you? I also know that if prices stay the same year over year, you just, oh, I'm going to just keep my prices the same, then your business is losing money due to inflation. When we were coming out of COVID here in the US, our inflation went 9, 10%. So if you did nothing to raise your prices during that time, you were automatically only bringing in 90% of that income the following year because of inflation. So at the very least, we want to look at how do we just keep up with inflation so that we are not losing money. Your recurring tuition is your biggest wealth building tool. Yes, there's uniforms and costumes and recitals, ticket sales, summer programs, but that recurring tuition that's running 10, 11, 12 months of the year, that's your wealth building tool. And I say that because so many of us are tempted to decrease that amount in hopes of getting something. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more later. Um, Number 5 is nothing bad happens when women make more money. I have to say it. Nothing bad happens when women make more money. In fact, the research, this was an article from Forbes, it said that when women are in a position of making more money, they have the ability to align their decisions and the power to make things happen that they want. They are more philanthropic. They're giving back. They're enriching their family. They're enriching their community. They're investing in themselves, in healthcare and education. That is the tendency for when women have more money. They're making decisions for themselves and others. And this I've learned the hard way. I've paid my stupid tax. When we guess, we make a mess, a hot, blazing mess. So if you are looking at your prices or what you're going to put on your website or your materials and you're just guessing, you're probably making a mess as well, my friend. Now I want to just talk about discounts. Um, Most business owners offer a discount to get people to do something, but consumers, people, they make decisions on service based businesses on how they feel. And I'm going to just say, I would even argue that sometimes we make decisions on product based businesses on how I feel, right? And the example is when I was in Las Vegas and I saw the Walgreens had sushi for sale, and I didn't feel good about that. I didn't care that it was cheap sushi. There was no way I'm buying sushi at the Walgreens on the Vegas Strip, right? When you purchase something, there's so much emotion involved. And we trick ourselves in our mind to think that people are making decisions solely on price. But that's not the case. When you put your child into daycare, do you choose the cheapest place? Probably not. When you're deciding on different things for your home, do you want the cheapest contractor to redo your bathroom plumbing? Maybe. So many times we think that offering a discount is the thing that is going to make people register or it's going to make people take a second class. But the truth of the matter is, if that was working, then we'd actually see results from that. It's the same thing like when people have referral discounts and people say, well, gosh, I would have referred students to you anyway because I just love Miss So and so. She's so good with the dancers and they feel great in her class. They would have been fine with a thank you card, but instead we're giving things away. So the question is, if you could share it in the chat, what is it that customers want to feel when they're making this decision? What do they want to feel? Go ahead and share that in the chat when you think of what are the things, what are the emotions that consumers want to feel when they're signing their kid up for something. It has a lot less to do with our prices. We want to feel loved, uh, welcome, place to call home. Thank you. Yeah. They want to feel like maybe the studio is a welcoming place. They want to feel like their kid would be safe there. They want to feel like they're not the only one of a certain group. How many of us has had like little boys interested in class, but they're like, oh gosh, I don't want him to be the only boy. I don't want him to feel like he's different, right? They want that sense of belonging. They don't want to walk into a room of mean moms from that private school who make them feel like crap about themselves, right? Because while their kid is in there, they got to deal with the parents in the waiting room and they just want to sit and relax on their phone. Yeah. Um, so really think about what are the other items that influence a buyer's decision making. I hope you enjoyed that clip from Tuition Tune Up. If you would like to take the full webinar replay, as well as have access to the notes and the audit worksheet that we used, go to gingerhaithcox.com/tuneup, sign up to take the free webinar replay, and you too can be on the road to greater financial success. I wish you all the best.